You're welcome back. Now, foreigners working in Nigeria pay the highest visa fee of any immigrant worker in top African economies, adding to barriers to foreign direct investment. The work visa fee, which is paid annually by foreign nationals working in the country, is at $2,000 following a 100% increase in 2018. And that's higher than $777 charged by South Africa for work visas. It's double the cost of a work permit in Ghana, which is about $1,000 per annum. And for Rwanda, to renew a work permit costs an average of $124. And that's, of course, less than 20% of Nigeria's visa fee. And it's valid for 2 years. Addis Ababa, foreigners pay $1,600 for 2 years. Of course, that's more than double what Nigeria pays. So how much impact is this having on our FDIs? We're talking about attracting foreign direct investment, attracting investment. The president has gone to India and all around the world, Europe, to try and get businesses into Nigeria. How much of a discouraging factor is this? Joining us for this conversation is Cindy Foster. She's the founder, managing director of Nylon Marketing. Joins us from the UK. Hi, Cindy, good morning.
Good morning, Amy.
Yeah, so how much of a factor is this in our search for FDI? How much of a discouragement has it brought?
I find this topic quite strange because there is a huge difference between expats coming into work and foreigners investing in the country. And the amount of investment that an expat is likely to bring isn't really worth speaking about, to be honest. They're coming to work. They're not coming to bring investment. They're coming to earn a salary in Nigeria, which a part of it they will spend in Nigeria, but the largest chunk of it they will probably return overseas to fund families and housing that they still want to maintain overseas. So I find this topic quite strange that we're talking about the expat visa costs and because we need to look at the expat quota as well, and the link with foreign direct investment. It's completely a non-topic as far as I'm concerned, despite the fact that I'm here discussing it.
All right, well, good to hear you say that, because I mean, it was a kind of, is this part of what we're doing wrong? But we do know that this was hiked in 2018 when it seemed like jobs that should have been given to the locals, that's Nigerians, were given to expatriates. You know, so this was supposed to be a discouraging factor. Would you say at least we have achieved that?
It was not meant to be a discouraging factor in foreign direct investment. It was intended to protect local content jobs. So if you make it easy for companies to hire foreigners, they will hire those foreigners because there is a lack of trust in, Nigerian qualifications, Nigerian work ethic. There's a huge problem when it comes to companies recognizing the value of Nigerian employees. If you make it easy for them, they will just disregard the Nigerian workforce and they will hire expats. There is a need for expert, recruitment to come and help train and guide and develop certain industries in Nigeria where you don't necessarily have the ability, because, the local talent, local staff may be limited in terms of their ability to manage a railway, for example, because it's some years since Nigeria has had successful railways. Construction business, oil and gas, aviation, engineering, those technical areas, shipping as well, they sometimes need an expat to come and help guide development, to bring in technology advances and productivity advances and to provide solutions. So there's definitely a need. But Nigeria doesn't need to be competing with countries like Rwanda, South Africa and Ghana, because Nigeria already is a more attractive location for expats to work. And that's why there has been a lot of expats coming to Nigeria to work over decades. It's not new, it's not, it's not something that's really going to end. But this doesn't have anything to do with foreign direct investment. The reasons why foreign direct investment has gone down in Nigeria is not because they've doubled the expat fee. It's nothing to do with it as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so I hear you talk about, you know, the lack of confidence in Nigerian skills and human resources, and this is supposed to, of course, turn attention more to those. Would you say we're on the path of winning that confidence, improving at least, even if it's not 100%?
I think all they have done is to put a cost barrier in place for the companies. I think we need to see sort of more training programs, management, leadership programs. We need to see some sort of work shadowing. We need to see some sort of apprenticeship type programs. We need internships. We need something which is going to give Nigerian professionals that kind of confidence in their own abilities and knowledge. Nigerians are great when it comes to academic qualifications, but sometimes what businesses need is that practical application. And practical application you get from experience. If you haven't got the experience in Nigeria, you're going to seek the experience from outside of Nigeria, and that's why there is the expat quota scheme, so that you can't just hire somebody when you feel like you want somebody. You need to, provide evidence that that skill is not available in Nigeria, and so therefore you need to bring that skill from outside. I actually don't see anything wrong with that. If I, as a foreigner, would want to go and work somewhere like America or Canada, the hurdle would be much more than me wanting to come and work in Nigeria. Even creating a business in Nigeria as a foreigner is now easier. So you've got certain industries whereby you can't actually work in Nigeria without having a registered Nigerian company. So that's why you will see some expats registering companies, because it's part of the regulatory requirement for the industry sector that they are in. For example, my industry, PR, you need to be a Nigerian business to be doing PR within Nigeria.
All right, and you talked about that issue of FDI, that this is not what is discouraging FDIs. I guess we all know what the factors discouraging FDI is. I think top on the list will be that FX shortage, you know, because some foreign companies cannot repatriate their funds.
Yes.
Do you see a quick fix to any of those hurdles?
I don't see an immediate fix, because whilst there are people benefiting from the chaos of the system within Nigeria, it's going to be a hard fix. It's going to be very difficult to overcome it because of the restrictions. We have seen pronouncements saying that we're now moving to a single currency exchange, whilst the parallel still exists to this day. Yes, the financial benefit to those who are frustrating the system is a bit less because the prices are closer together, but it still exists to this day. So without them looking at the issues, if they want to encourage foreign direct investment, solve the power problem. Because there are lots of manufacturing countries that would want to come into Nigeria because of the comparative lower cost of labor. But when you've now got lack of power and you've got expensive power generation for yourself, it's not an incentive, it's not an encouragement to come and invest in Nigeria. Even if you invest, you can't get the money out. And then we've got policy flip-flops. Nigeria is notorious for waking up and deciding on a policy today for tomorrow. It destroys businesses, it destroys industries. And so we need to have more consistent policy making with impact assessments as to what is going to happen if you move forward with this policy. What are the benefits? What are the costs? But we don't seem to be interested in that in Nigeria. We are interested in, catering to a minority view who think this is what needs to be done without data, without evidence, and it is done, and it destroys businesses. So those are the things which makes Nigeria less attractive as an investor, but that doesn't make Nigeria less attractive as an expat, because expat salaries are not the same as local salaries. And so people are encouraged to come because there are opportunities for employment for expats in Nigeria.
Well, so talking about putting it straight out there, Cindy, thank you so much. Cindy Foster, founder, managing director of Nylon Marketing. Obviously, Nigerian government has a lot to do, policy flip-flop and all of that, among others. But thank you for sharing your views with us this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.